So baby sleep and settling. Now crying, feeding, sleeping, they all go together, and there's not a parent in the land that doesn't want the specific recipe for their baby to get perfect amount of sleep. I guess firstly remembering that each person needs a different amount of sleep. There's not a set hours, like if you start to count hours, you're gonna go crazy. So, the baby will sleep as much as it needs to, and that varies depending on how old it is, whether it's the daytime or the nighttime. But if you're like, no worries, that's all good information, but you're finding it difficult to get your baby from being in your arms to being in their bed. So I guess firstly, it's important to remember they don't know that's their bed. You keep putting them down and leaving them, and they're like, oh my God, come back. So what we really do with babies with sleep and settling is trick them. So we trick them so that they don't think we've left them. So cuddling is a wrap. So we would have gone through wrapping with you in the hospital. As the baby gets older, we don't want you to wrap their legs anymore. We just want you to wrap their body that makes them feel like they're having a cuddle, even when you're not there. So a zip up wrap, a wrap, whatever wrap it is, bringing their arms in and making them feel safe. And a wrap appropriate to the environment that you're in. So you don't want to wrap them in a blanket if it's 35 degrees outside. So the cuddle makes them feel safe. Some babies do like to suck on something. So if you've got quite a sucky baby that you feel like it's just using you like a dummy and it's not working, how about you give them a dummy? So that makes them feel like you're still there when you're not. So they're all wrapped up, they're sucking on a dummy, they're like, this is great with mum, and you're like, haha, you're in your bed. And then you've got some music. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard someone's tummy. It is very noisy inside your stomach. So babies don't really like dark, quiet areas. So often putting some white noise or some womb music on, something so it's not really quiet, can make a baby feel safe. And sometimes a light, like just a little night light, or the curtains open during the day, makes the baby feel safe, because again, in your tummy, it's not always dark. There is light that comes through your skin. And then you've got motion. So motion, when someone's a bit upset, you'll give them a hug and you'll actually start rocking them by accident. And then you'll think, oh, it does feel nicer having a bit of motion. So often you calm a baby down with some motion. It actually calms down their vagus nerve. So, example would be you might wrap the baby up, give it a dummy, tuck it into the pram, put some white noise on and go for a walk. All of the elements. And this baby actually is completely unaware that you've left them. And they've had a nice sleep, you've had a break, which has been great. Or if it's in the middle of the night, rocking or patting them in the bassinet, and you're just saying, I'm still here. And for you, maybe it isn't that you have to pick them up every time. But if they're getting really distressed, they might say, nice try, mum, it's not going to work this time. And you'll think, okay, I can hear you. And so you might pick the baby up and give them a cuddle, and they might do this big fart and think, oh, that's better. And so then you're actually getting to know this baby as well, but having some techniques that helps them to feel safe and secure when they're off of you. And know that nothing works every time, but also from all of our information from sleep psychologists and infant sleep behaviour, we know that babies are smart, but they're not that smart. So you've got to repeat things quite a few times for the baby to even remember that they've seen them before. So how some people say, oh, I use the white noise, it works every time. Know that it did take a bit of time for that to work every time. So try not to go, this wrap didn't work the one time you used it. Just try and persist as much as you can. But read your baby's signals. If your baby doesn't like sucking, you can't make them suck. So if they don't like the dummy, don't use it. If they get more upset when you rock them, stop doing it. And getting to know that little baby is going to help you to find the steps for them to sleep quite safely and for them to feel safe without you. But know that it doesn't work every time. Hopefully that's helped.